I've had a lot of questions on my first video because, you know, we're trying to get you your tickets. And maybe it is... Ow, what the heck? Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing something that I think it's not highly requested, but you know, I've had a lot of questions on my first video. And if you're new here, this is my first video right here. So in that video, I purchased Stray Kids tickets for their upcoming tour, Maniac. And honestly, it was an experience. It's been 3 years since I bought on Ticketmaster, and let me be honest with you, I do not remember anything I did when I bought the tickets. And you know, buying tickets for a small band versus a K-pop group is way different. So basically, we can just say I had no experience. So with that being said, I did do a bunch of research. Like, I am talking a bunch of research. I'll go in later and show you my whole YouTube search history and like what I searched up while I was trying to prepare myself both mentally and emotionally before I bought these tickets. So if you're looking for all the answers to your questions, this is the video. If you have any more questions that I did not answer, be sure to leave them in the comment section below and I'll try my hardest to answer them as quickly as possible. Because I do know that there are a bunch of K-pop groups going on tour this summer, so I'll try and help you out. Also, I just want to say a quick thank you. At the time of this recording, I do have 45 subscribers and I did not expect to grow this quickly. But anyway, we don't care. What you're here for is answers, and I will be giving you those answers. So when you're getting prepared, you want to have your information already inputted into Ticketmaster, because that way the information is already in your account and you don't have to scramble putting in your card information and whatever. That's what I did, and I can say it is way less stressful. The first question was how much the seatings were. Now, it depends entirely who you're seeing, where you're seeing it, like what stadium or concert venue, and where you want to be seated. Originally, I wanted to get seats in the section 106, but if you watched my video, I didn't get those tickets when the tickets first came out. So I'm not entirely sure on the price in the ground section of the concert venue, but from the stands upward that's not in the ground section, they were around $100-$150. The closer you get to the stage, the more expensive the tickets get, so it just depends entirely on that. So personally for me, the seats I got were around $130 each, and I got 2 tickets, so that comes out at around $330, I think. Yeah, it just basically depends where you're sitting and who you're seeing. I know bigger groups like Twice and BTS, their tickets are a little more pricey than smaller groups, and also it just depends completely on the venue you're going to. Another question I was asked is how long did the tickets take to sell out, and if you watch my first video, I was in the queue for like 5 minutes and I was able to buy my ticket really fast. I know if you watch a bunch of videos from other people, they tell you like they were in queue for like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. That can happen, but it just entirely depends where Ticketmaster puts you in the queue line. I don't necessarily think you have to stay in the waiting room and then get into the queue line as fast as possible, because there are a bunch of people on TikTok that have said that they joined the queue like last minute, but I won't speak on that because I have no knowledge in that area and I don't want to give out any wrong information to avoid all the confusion and whatever, because you know, we're trying to get you your tickets. That's what the purpose of this video is. So yeah, back to the question. After I got my tickets, I checked again 45 minutes later, which I joined the queue back immediately after I already bought my tickets just to see what was going on, and it took 45 minutes for me just to get to the seating chart again to buy the tickets, and they were completely sold out. So another question I got was, did I have to refresh for the queue line to show up? The answer is no, do not refresh. The only time you saw me refresh was when this countdown was happening. So this clock here is the lobby of Ticketmaster, and it's basically just everybody's waiting there, looking at the countdown timer, waiting for the actual waiting room to open up. So from the lobby, once the timer hits 00, that's when you're going to refresh, so it'll put you into the waiting room because it will not do it for you. So once you hit refresh in the lobby, it's going to put you into the waiting room where you're going to wait a few few more minutes depending on what's happening, how many people are waiting, but usually it tells you like 5 minutes left and maybe 1 minute left depending on who you're seeing. It always depends. But for Stray Kids, once I got into the waiting room, it only told me I had a minute left, which honestly it didn't feel like 1 minute. It felt like around 2 minutes before I was actually put into the queue. But once you are in here, this waiting room, you're not going to refresh. Do not refresh. It'll automatically put you in the queue, and if you refresh, I'm sure you either get put to the very back of the queue or not where you would have been if you didn't refresh. So trust me, you're okay. You don't need to refresh no matter what people say. There's so many videos that I watched that gave different information, like yes, you should refresh to get into the queue, or no, you shouldn't refresh. At that point, I was just so confused and I didn't know what was going on, so I just decided to wing it, which it was scary, and just talking about it now, I'm kind of like jittery because I remember the feeling so vividly. But yeah, you're not going to refresh once you're in the waiting room because it'll put you in the queue automatically. Now that you're here in the queue, you're just going to be waiting. It's basically a very long, tiring, stressful waiting game. So once you see there's about 150, 15, 10, 5 people in front of you, that's when you're going to start to get ready, and then you're in. You have your tickets. There are a bunch of people who say don't click the seating map and instead use the little scrolly thing, but honestly, you don't need to do that. Like, maybe it works for some people, but for me, it's just so confusing because of course you're going to know where you want to sit, but there's not a 100% chance you're going to get in that section, and you're not going to know any of the seat numbers, row numbers, anything like that. So it's best to just use the seating map. Use the plus sign button that's on the top right of the map. Honestly, in my opinion, I think all the other videos out there complicate the ticket buying process so much more than it needs to be, because they say you need this and then you need that, and you should know this, you should do this beforehand, you should have multiple tabs up. You honestly don't need to do any of that. What was I saying again? What the heck?
Hello.
Hello. So yeah, honestly, all the other videos complicate everything you need to do so much more, and it's not necessary. You don't have to have 2 different tabs up with... Ow, what the heck? I'm making a video. You don't have to have multiple tabs up. It's not necessary. And maybe it is... Ow, what the heck? I'm filming a video. I'm giving you attention already. Maybe it's necessary for bigger bands like BTS, but in my opinion, you really don't need to. But yeah, that's basically all you need to know. If I missed anything, I'll put a comment and I'll pin it down below so you can see it. And again, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them down below and I'll try my best to answer them for you. I hope everybody gets the ticket they want, the section they want, and everything they need for the concert. And good luck, and I hope you get tickets and you have fun. And if you do get your tickets, I'm so proud of you. I hope this video helped you getting your tickets because I simplified the process as much as I possibly could. If you didn't get your tickets, just know that there will always be a chance. Once the tickets are sold out, they're not really sold out. When I checked back 3 days later, half of the seating sections were open once again. If you didn't manage to get tickets at the face sale, then I recommend waiting a week until the concert day, or even 2 days before the concert day if you live closer. You can even show up to the venue 5 minutes before it starts and buy your ticket, and I know tons of people have been able to get into BTS concerts that way. If you haven't seen my first video, go watch it. I am successful. I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you gained more knowledge, or if you were confused, I hope this cleared everything up for you. Good luck in your ticket buying process, everybody, and I will see you next week.